Are we live yet, baby?
Oh, that red light is on, Brother Hugh.
There she go. There she
And
go.
there's that red light. That's the one I've been waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
Brother Hugh, how are you
Yep.
feeling?
I'm cool. I got my pink on. I'm chilling.
Oh, look at you looking like a wanted man.
Hey, that's crazy.
If anybody knows that reference, please drop it in the comments. But Brother Hugh, you know it's Tuesday. You know what that means, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Shenanigans.
It's time for some shenanigans, and it's time to talk about some championships. But it seems like in today's world, we focus on WWE, TNA, AEW, ROH. And then you have some other ones that start coming in the list like GCW, House of Glory, Reality of Wrestling, Fourth Rope Wrestling. But I want to talk about one promotion that throughout the United States has been very influential in the indie promotion for all wrestling. But there's one particularly that stands out, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's MLW. They started, left, came back, and when they returned with a bang. And this is how we got to thank people for wrestlers like Jacob Fatu, Alex Kane, and some others that we're going to name later on. But let's break down those MLW championships and why they're so important to the game. So without further ado, let's get to it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Wrestling Realm Presents Season 4 of Championship Culture. I'm Brandon the Guy, and by the look on his face, there's something wrong with the audio there, brother.
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. I'm
It's
Brandon
coming.
the Guy.
I feel it.
You feel it coming?
I feel it
Because it's
coming.
Tuesday, right? Everything will
Yeah.
be fine until we hit that red button. But who are you, brother? Here, because I'm the guy, as y'all like
Everybody
to
know who
call
I
me.
am, man. I'm
So, you know who you are.
HASTAT to the 3RD. Haven't said that in a while.
I was waiting for it. That's why I
Good
said, "Ooh,
Lord. I
it
almost
came
forgot
off."
it. It was
Yeah,
real smooth, though, right?
you had to say who you are, right?
Right. Get it off my
Oh,
chest.
you had to get it out there, right?
One
Because
time, one
guess
time.
guess guess what you like to say. I think it's in blue on your shirt. What does that say on your shirt too?
Look, every belt has a story.
Every belt
100%.
has a story. And what better way to kick off Tuesday? Well, about some major league wrestling, brother. Hugh, before we go on, look who's in the comments.
Yeah, I saw Grandpa in there.
You call him grandpa, I call him uncle. Uncle Ben is in the comments because you swear that man is my uncle. We do resemble him.
Definitely.
And we got how many people in the comments? We got some people in the comments already. I promise you, today will definitely be an interesting show for you.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you
Yes.
for tuning
How's
in.
everybody Tuesday? Yep. I can't wait to hear their take on some of these MLW belts. And plus,
That's right.
I think Uncle Ben is in there because some of the names make him think about his famous New Japan wrestling and all those Ichiban things that he loves. I think that's why he tuned in, but we shall
See,
see.
I didn't want to call him Uncle Ben because all I think about is rice. So
But
that's
I ain't gonna
why.
call him Grandpa because
I mean, I
Grandpa
don't
is
want to
his
call him
alter
that.
ego.
You're right. You're right.
Grandpa is
Uh,
his alter angry ego.
Either way, thank you for tuning in.
We're happy to see you.
Yes, sir. Always a
Yes.
pleasure.
So, brother here, we're talking about Major League Wrestling, or better known as MLW, right?
Yeah.
Why you smiling so hard? Because you looking at that comment?
Yeah.
You looking at
Shout out to
the
Justin for
real?
filling in last week. I appreciate you, brother.
I was like, you definitely got to put that on there.
On some Freaky Friday type stuff. Yeah.
Yes. So if you didn't get a chance to check out last week's episode, please check it out because brother he was missing because he had an injury and he had to nurse. How's your finger doing? Is it okay?
Which one? No,
Because
man,
I know.
I'm a chill. I'm a chill.
Yeah, you gotta chill out.
Yeah, I'm a chill.
Yeah, but he's back this week because he heard there was more championships to be talked about, so he's definitely going to talk about this one. But brother here,
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Ben, Grandpa, his son saying Superman, all of this. This is why we
Okay.
can't get started. I
Okay.
like Suntan Superman because that just rolls off the tongue. That's what we're gonna have to call him now,
That's
Suntan
crazy.
Superman. Because Grandpa is the angry rant that's been going off when people make him mad. You wouldn't want to see him angry.
Well, I like when he's angry though.
You do? Because
Yeah,
he
is
would
is
talk.
very
Let him have it.
entertaining. Right. Talk your stuff. Sometimes you
Also,
gotta let them know.
so
You
he's a
know.
cheap plug. Go over to Championship Belt Brothers or Championship Figure Brothers, where Uncle Ben slash Grandpa or Suntan Superman is one of the creators and moderators and admins to both pages. Um, and just look for one of his lives because I'm pretty sure they're still on there. Um, yeah, just check out Ben because he always leaves it better than when he found it.
Hmm.
Kind of,
Hmm.
kind of what we're going to talk about today, right? Because I feel like before we get into it, I just got to give this disclaimer. Sometimes indies are looked at as like a transition from either from WWE or a transition to get to WWE. And MLW is no secret to that. When you talk about Major League Wrestling, you got to think about how did we get here, right? It was founded first in 2002 in none other than Philly, but now they're based out of New York. And Philly seems to be a place where a lot of wrestling happens. That's a wrestling town. Like you could say Philly, Chicago. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Baltimore is a wrestling town. The
Hmm.
Carolinas, certain things, right? But let's say Philly has started, right? By a
Right.
former WWE guy. And it was started in 2002 and it was first on MLW Underground TV. Now you had to be a certain subscriber to get these channels. This is a different time in 2002 where cable was just latched on to certain channels trying to get products, right? They left, came back in 2017, and they had MLW Fusion, which started in April of 2018. And that's how you kind of were able to see it. But at that time, you got to see certain things happen. You got to see people coming up through the Indies rank. Some people left major leagues, Major League Wrestling, pun intended, to come to just try to prove that self within there. And the first thing I want to talk about, brother, here, when we talk about MLW, you got to start off with the women.
Hmm.
Now, first in 2021, and this is after they made their resurgence back, they were starting to be not necessarily the new kid on the block, but a fresher face on the block. The MLW Women's Featherweight Championship was established in 2021, but it's currently now known as the MLW World Women's Featherweight Championship.
Right.
Of course, when you think about that, certain names come to mind, but one of the names is Tyra Valkyrie because she was still part of TNA when she was their inaugural champion because she was part of the Knockout Tag Team Champions. But this is where the belt gets interesting because there has been five title holders because Tyra had it for 328 days,
Right.
moved on. Certain people had it 400 days, 200, and 200, and so forth. But now we know how we got to this title. Brother Hugh, let's talk about that championship. When you look at this championship, what is the
Hmm.
first thing that it screams to you? And I know you're dying. There we go. This I'm sorry, MLW World Women Featherweight Championship, which is a mouthful to say, but let's talk about this belt.
I like it. It's simple. It reminds me right off top of the old ROH Heavyweight Championship with the wings. That's the only thing. With maybe the shape of it also, but I like the shape of it. It reminds me. It kind of gives me Wonder Woman vibes. Does that make sense,
hmm
Brandon?
Yeah, because you're talking about the Amazonians, how they were warriors and
Right.
things like that on the sides. I can see where, like, because they were heavily influenced by Greek mythology, hence
Right.
the side plates and even the
The sunburst
patterns around.
pattern, and then you have the
Okay,
world
yeah,
champion banner, of course. But yeah, it's a pretty simple design, but it screams regal. It gives off a certain aura. Like you need
it,
that. That's something that needs to be seen, and it looks well. It looks very good on TV.
It does translate. Now, do you think it translates because of the silver and gold mixture, or do you think it translates because of the shape and the design? Because it's
Well,
hard to make a
okay.
woman's belt look good on all the women. You know what I mean? Some of them are too small, too big, but this seems like it always fits.
Well, I think it's a combination because first of all, you have like you said, the shape with the wings coming out to the side, plus it's dual plated. Then
Hmm
MLW is front and center. So as far as branding purposes, is front and
hmm
center, just like WWE with their undisputed championship and their women's WWE championship. It's straight in your face, so you know if there's no disputing what title this is and what brand is representing.
And I always admired about MLW, no matter how you're looking at the logo, it looks the same.
Absolutely.
That's the one thing. So it is crazy because if you put the picture back up, I just want to point out one thing about this championship that always sparked my interest. Most of the time, when you see wings or um, feathers or things like that, it's usually the same color. And just like was it Justin that said it? Yeah, those silver wings just pop on the championship.
Yeah,
It's something
100%.
about it was feel like silver and gold was done right on there. Yes, we could talk about the Greek inspired side plates, the Trojan warriors on the one side because of the head guard. It looks like they're shooting an arrow, and the other side looks like they're riding a chariot with their spear. But the wings just draw your eye right to the center, which that silver Nicholas pattern behind the MLW just screams that's an important championship. Brother Hugh, if you had to change anything, would you change anything about that championship?
Hmm. No, I wouldn't.
Hmm.
I'm okay with it.
No, you wouldn't put stones on it?
Maybe no, no. That's only you. That's only you. It has stones on it actually.
It does?
Yeah. You see the
I didn't
sunburst
think this one
pattern?
had so I didn't think it had stones on it. Okay, you just told me something.
Yeah.
So it
It look
does have stones
right
on
there
it.
on the sunburst pattern. You see little stones right there above
They must not be
the
red.
world
That's why I didn't
championship.
notice it.
No, they're not red. That's why you ain't notice it.
Okay.
But yeah. The only other thing maybe is the world champion and maybe like black it out. I
Hmm.
guess possibly give it a little different touch, but just make that portion of it pop out a little bit more. But overall, I wouldn't really touch it. That might be the only little tweak that I would add to it.
Gotcha. But overall, I think it serves its purpose.
Yeah,
That
100%.
championship serves its purpose. Now, Brother Hugh, when we talk about MLW,
Mm-hmm.
there's a certain belt that's kind of like one of my favorites. And it's my favorite because I'm always talking about the name of a championship. We can reuse Intercontinental, we can reuse excuse me, United States 946 times, right? Everybody has an Intercontinental or United States Championship. But when you talk about a national openweight championship, which was established in 2019, the year after they came back, it's insane that when you think about it, when they announced the creation of the National Openweight Championship,
My
it
fault.
was
My
a
fault. Real,
division.
real quick.
I'm sorry.
Grandpa has something to say.
What do you see? What do you got to say?
How do
I
you
feel
feel
like the
about that?
side plates don't match up with the main. I, if they would have had more of the pattern, more Greek type of thing, when we get to the tag belt, it's something I'm gonna say about that because I think that they need the more wreath pattern around it
Uh
to
huh.
match the side plates because it felt like the side plates, I believe, with MLW, they wanted to keep that theme going to show you that they're all in the family in a sense. And I feel like it kind of should have been more oval shaped, but then that might have taken away from the overall aesthetics of it because it draws your eyes to the middle. Because if you
Right.
notice, both of the warriors are facing inward, so it's going to draw your eye to the towards the MLW. So
It's,
yay and nay, I kind of feel like it does and it doesn't.
it's
If that
definitely
makes
giving.
sense.
It's definitely giving goddess vibes. Like you said with the
Yes,
Greek with the reefs on the side plates and then the wings and of course the sunburst pattern. It's giving, like you said, Amazonian goddess vibes.
like their headpiece, like the feathers,
Right.
makes me think of like a headpiece more than it does wings. It's more like a headdress towards like the Greek goddesses would wear or things like that. I'm thinking when I look at this, I look at like I think of automatic like Athena or like you say about a Wonder Woman. We probably comic book fans would know exactly when you look at the Amazonians. This looks like a
Mm-hmm.
belt for a warrior. So that was my only thing about that. Good question though. Thanks for calling out. See, this is why we need bid in the comments. So here's where Ben really going to shine
Mm-hmm.
because the National Openweight Championship, when it was announced, it's a division that was kind of, I want to say, has more in common because most Japanese promotions have a open weight championship, or that's their theory on that championship. And it's crazy because they already had a middleweight division, which was like their cruiserweight, but they said we're going to do a open weight championship, and the open weight became their secondary title. And it became their secondary title in a short amount of time, and it was distinguished. Now, the thing about the Nationals Championship,
Mm-hmm.
when you think of national, what nation are we talking about, right? And of course, it kind of felt like it was supposed to be a United States title without being a United States title. Brother Hugh, what say you about the championship?
Let me throw it up on the screen real quick. Well,
Uh-huh.
hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I like
And
it.
you
I
have
like
this
it.
one, don't you?
I do. It's yeah. It's over there. I don't feel like grabbing it right now, but yeah, I do have
Okay.
that. I like how the side plates complement the main plate as far as the shape. Um, Simple oval shape, round shape. You have the all of the aesthetics of a regal or prestigious look and feel of the championship. MLW at the top. You have the eagle, big front and center, gold pattern. You have stones all around. You see that? There you
In the
go.
right place.
In the right place. Yeah. I'm I like this. I like this design. I'm not. What are you thinking about it?
So I love it because of a couple things. Yes, the Eagle is front and center. It's calling it a United States championship without it. Because if you look at the WCW and even let's just talk about the United States Championship from this lineage from NWA to WCW, that Eagle was always a prominent part in it that you would know that's synonymous with the United States. And the thing I love about it is this belt design has been recreated multiple times for different promotions, and the side plates look like it was broken from the main plate. If you look
Right.
how the design is, yes, it has Lady Liberty on the side, has
Yep.
her fist on one side, her face on the other. But the thing that I really want to draw people's attention to, the shield in the middle it's kind of like a homage to old style championships. Um, those were seen on the NWA, I think United States tag belts, and this is
Yeah.
why I need Ben to fact check me on that shield. But the eagle is perfect. I think even for the eagle, it has things on their feet, just as like it's holding portions of it. I think the stones are in the right place because it draws your eye to the main function of it being a national openweight championship.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
No, you're
So
okay.
basically, this is a nod to New Japan with their open weight division, or you might want to say maybe the X division in TNA, right?
Because X Division was no weight class, right?
No late,
And
no
that's
wait,
why they
right?
kind of, and that was a lot of the times they did that to distinguish. If you are 205 or less, you're in that class. Anything over, you had to compete in this class. And that's why they say the lightweight was for that, but anything else was for the open weight because anybody could contend no matter what it was. Um,
Now, who do you think about when you see that championship?
oh, buddy, you really want to know? I'm glad you would ask that.
Who's
The
that?
first one, of course, Alex Kane. I feel like that was the
Hmm.
rise of Alex Cade, almost to the point it was like I feel like Alex Cade defined himself at MLW, and you can't really say MLW without saying Alex Cade. Um, and the only reason I'm saying that this was that formula of let me prove myself in this division, and then I moved on to the heavyweight. But also, you can't not say
I was about to say you.
Alexander.
You
Oh,
got
go
to
ahead.
say Hammerstone.
Yeah, first champion, right?
Yeah.
And he did the formula first. He defined himself there. I remember when he dethroned Jacob, it was like a not what I mean type of deal. But I would definitely say Alex Kane first. Jacob Fatu had it too late in his career because
Hmm.
how do you have that? And we'll get to that run, but he still held it. You know what I mean? But it's
Right.
definitely in my mind the first person that comes to, and everybody say, "Oh, why don't you say Jacob Fatu?" Because when you think about the big goal. You don't say Chris Jericho, but when you say Intercontinental title, you think of Jericho because of the work he did with the Intercontinental was more important. Jacob Fatu's
To
work
get him
with
to
the
that next level, yeah.
heavyweight, yeah, was more important than what he did with this. This was kind of like a reverse WCW where I was the world champion, now I get the secondary title to bring eyes to that. Because think about it, he was the only person at the time that could actually take it and do something with it that MLW had.
Right.
Johnny Hagan, Johnny Nitro, Johnny Fusion, Johnny Wrestling, Johnny whatever. He was just popping everywhere. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah, he
This was the
was at that
time
point. Yeah.
he was going to every promotion, and you never know what might have happened that he couldn't have been there. And guess what? Jacob was a proven draw wrestler, a person that you needed at that time.
In the
What
comments.
what about in the comments? Oh yeah, here we go. Yes, and that I think that's what made it stand out the
Yeah,
most.
it's
This
definitely a nice
statue,
touch for a national belt. A belt with
you
national status. Yeah, for sure.
you don't have to put the flag on the side or a bunch of stars, a bunch of this. It was literally the hand because everybody knows Lady Liberty hand and her face off to the side. Like
Right.
you could literally tell that was for that championship. Great
I agree.
design. Yes, the side plates help pull it. Yeah, because and I'm a big fan of if the side plates look like it was broken off from the main plate, or it's a duplicate of the main plate, like the Undisputed Championship. And the side plates were smaller versions of the
Look
main
at him.
plate.
He's looking at
Always
the
look.
belts while he's talking. Look at him.
I look. I just had to look over. It was right there.
All right.
You know, it's
Okay.
in
Go ahead.
front
Do
of me.
your thing. You cooking? Go
It's in
ahead.
front of me.
Do your
No, I'm
thing.
just saying that's why I love that. That's why that is my favorite MLW championship, the National Openweight. I always thought that one that if you took
Hmm.
national off, you could make that a world championship. You
There
could
you
make
go.
it the women's champion. You could make it whatever championship you wanted to be because it had that look to it.
It does
If
have
you
an
wanted to
important
say
look
this,
to it. Yeah.
if you wanted to make that your secondary world championship, let's say they were big enough that they had two world champions, one on this day, one on that day, or if you want to split the territories, you could. Kind of similar to what New Japan did with the New Japan Strong Championship, how that's in America, and then they got their heavyweight over there. You know, they're two different titles, but for two different reasons.
Right.
I feel like that if you took that name off of it, it would be perfect. Kind of like how the I have it right here, the never open weight championship. You're like, okay, but what is that championship? It's not the secondary, it's not the other belt, but they clearly define that as the secondary belt. It's like the big eagle got
Yeah,
busy on the
you
USA.
knew something wild was coming. You knew it. You knew it. But he's not wrong. He's not
It's
wrong.
that, no, it does look, and I think because of that eagle really just screams. It gives you wing eagle, WCW US title. It gives you all of that feel that you're like, this got to be a big deal. When you look at it, you're like, that's got to be an important championship. But
What's going on, Pez? Thank you for
oh,
tuning
okay.
in.
Oh yeah.
Also,
Check us out at championship culture underscore Instagram. Give us a like. We will. I have
you
80
have 80
belts.
belts. Now, which belt out of your collection is your favorite? Drop that in the comments for us.
Oh yeah. That's always the question. Which one is your favorite and which one is was your first one?
And what? Yeah, which was your first? Yeah,
Because that's always the important questions. Yes, sir. But here,
yeah.
I'm gonna ask you this question since we're talking about these builds, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the women. I'm like, I don't want to say that long name again. We talked about the national.
The
So
World Women's Featherweight Championship. Don't
there
disrespect
you
them
go.
like that,
No,
man.
I want you
Come
to
on
say
now.
it. I want you. It's a mouthful, isn't it?
Hey, whatever. It is what it is.
So
We're
it
gonna
sounds
give
like
them
your
their
dog is
respect.
barking. Is your dog barking?
Nah, that was probably the cord rubbing up against
Oh,
the desk. My bad. I apologize. I will stop moving.
it's okay.
But
Yeah.
go ahead.
Um, when we talk about MLW, you can't not talk about the middleweight championship. Hinted at it earlier, right?
Yep.
Now, bear with me on this one because this one has a slight different history, right?
Mm-hmm.
In 2018, remember they were coming back in 17, so in 18 they were making a lot of announcements. They were doing a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
They announced the creation of MLW World Middleweight Championship for the middleweight division instead of a cruiserweight. We know cruiserweight usually has a certain, I want to say it has a certain,
Connotation to it. Yeah.
yeah, automatically, right?
Yeah.
It's more common in the United States to have a cruiserweight than it is overseas to have that, right?
Right.
So it was announced that the title will hold a weight limit of 205, and they announced who will all be part of it. Thinking what you know now, you wouldn't think that Maxwell Jacob Freeman fit in that mold. Now I know you had seen him at CZW, you had saw him earlier in his career,
Mm-hmm.
um, but he was
He's a
announced as part of the
prodigy,
tournament, right?
a wrestling prodigy.
Right,
Like
but look at him now.
seriously.
You're like, is he 205? I'm like, I'm thinking of him as a heavyweight. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So when you think about him at this time, this is when this is post CZW days, right? He had already finished with CZW and was starting to move in and do his indie run, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
this is right before the formation of AEW. So this is right when MJF was becoming MJF. He was still Maxwell Jacob Freeman, right?
Mm-hmm.
He wins um, the inaugural championship. And of course, we didn't get to see what he needed to do because 140-day reign ended with an injury. Then we
Right.
saw some other people, which I'm going to skip through the names for reasons. But a person that I think brought some eyes on the product was none other than somebody else that you saw at CZW,
What was
Leo
that?
Rush. Leo
Hmm.
Rush.
Interesting.
But then We saw shorter title reigns. And when I say shorter, in the indie scene, a lot of people seem to realize they don't necessarily have weekly television. They might have monthly stuff. So you could go 2, 3 months and not have to defend your belt or just how the shows. But we can start to see people like Leo have 150 days, Myron Reed on his second run as 150. But then we
Mm-hmm.
saw a bona fide Hall of Famer in Tajiri get this championship and none other than Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like yep, we got Tajiri. Look what's happening, right? You got people like Lindsay Dorado when they left WWE getting it, and then you had Rocky Romero getting it. These are Japanese names, and Mystico, and now the title is vacant again. Brother, here
The greatest
does
of all
this
time.
the Mystico, right? Does
No,
this
vacant.
belt?
Yeah.
Yeah, vacant is the
Yeah.
greatest of all
You're
time.
right.
I'm gonna say vacant has had more titles than never before seen. 746 titles.
Right.
Vacant.
Right.
I want to sound somber, but do you think this MLW championship might have some little to it? Because it seems like, as good as it looked, it might be a gift and a curse at the same time.
Mm-mm-mm. I'm sorry. I'm startled by the appearance of that bad boy.
Well, let's talk about it. We can
It's
come back to
beautiful.
that.
It's
Let's talk
beautiful.
about this belt.
Mm-hmm. Once again, the side plates they complement the main plate. Everything it just meshes well. It screams
Hmm.
prestigious. Of course, you have I don't want to be wrong. Was that's a lion on the side? Is it a lion on the other side too? You have the lions on the side. You have the sunburst pattern, similar to what the WCW Cruiserweight Championship.
Hmm.
A
The
nod to
banner.
that, right? You have the banner, of course, world, the globe, right in the middle, branding, right smack dab in the middle. I'm a real big fan of the main plate shape. I like that. I like it a lot. It's different and it just screams. It's very unique and it's very regal. It gives a very regal aura to it.
So what about this main plate screams? Is it the shape or is it because of how everything pulls it together? Because the shape, when you first glance at it, you're like, what is that on the side, right? But then when you look, those patterns that we've seen in the AEW Continental Belt, which is now
Hmm.
the Unified Belt, the Cruiserweight Championship, we've seen that pattern multiple times, right?
Yeah.
And I believe it's a horse and a lion, right? On the side.
Yes.
Um, we've seen it duplicated for UK championships. We've seen it duplicated in different promotions. But some about when you add, I'm gonna just say animals because I don't want to be insensitive to the side,
Hmm.
it just makes it stand out even more. But what I want to ask you about, how people talk about the undisputed belt having too much
Oh.
black.
Hmm.
Does this have
Come
too
on,
much
bro.
black?
I don't know what's going on. Hold on, my bad. All right, go ahead. You said does it have too
Does
much black?
Yeah, put it back because I want to. Yeah, does this
It's
have
up
too
there.
much black in it?
I like it. No,
Okay.
I think it has just enough black in it. To be honest, um, it makes certain aspects of the belt pop, like on the side plates. It would look okay with the gold, with just straight gold or maybe dual plated, but this belt doesn't scream dual plated. This actual design doesn't seem like it should be a dual plated type of design, if that makes sense. For all my
Hmm.
belt designers out there, y'all probably know what I mean. But everything, like you said, the black pulls it together along with the shape of the side plates with the main plate. It all comes together very well. And to be honest, I don't think there's any way you can really improve it, to be honest.
Hmm. You
What do you
have this
think?
title, don't you? You have
I
this
do.
title, don't you?
I do.
What
You
was your
really want
first
me to go
thoughts?
grab one of these bad boys? That's
I did because I want to know what was your first thought when you saw this.
it's sexy like me.
Okay, I walked into that.
You showing up dead. Come on. You know
Okay,
what type of
I
answer you gonna
walk.
get.
I walked into that. You're right.
Let's address these comments.
Uh, yeah, please do because I can't even come back from that one.
Boom. Pass fine. He answered.
My first one was a crap. Oh, AWA Championship. My favorite that I have is the NWA World Tag Team Belt from the mid '80s, held by the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I would love to see that one because I want to see what that one looks like. Because I think I got in my mind which one it is, but I'm sure Uncle Ben is like, oh yeah, he's probably about to tell you 20 other things about that belt and like some history and the lineage. But that's the
Well,
thing about when we say, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just about to say, just DM us a picture of it. We're on
Yeah, that
on IG at championship culture underscore. If you don't have Instagram, you can find us on X and on Facebook at The Wrestling Realm. That's with two W's.
Thank you.
You're
So,
welcome.
yep. And look, here's the thing about that's what we mean. Every belt has a story. I would love to hear the story about why that one was the favorite.
Right.
Um,
There we go, right there. That is true.
Thank you.
Yeah.
National check.
Traditional
Okay,
feel.
thank you. Thank you. I knew it was
Yeah.
on one. I couldn't remember where. Thank you for that. Because I was really struggling. I was like, where have I seen that one? And I should have did the research before we got on this. But even on the side plates, having it the side plates look like mini copies of the main plate
Mm-hmm.
with those coat of arms on the side, because those are
Right.
definitely coat of arms for, and I couldn't find anything about what the one on the right or the left are, but you could tell they're a coat of arms, which symbolize probably either the creator of the championship or somebody that has prominence. Because whenever you see a coat of arms, it's usually attached to something or somebody in reference to that. So that's something else I wanted to point out. The detail in just this championship shows that they cared so much about making their middleweight or their other belt, because we have a primary, we have a secondary, and this is the other belt, look just as important as the other ones. It has a whole different feel. I think the black is perfect because it's behind world and champion, but
Mm-hmm.
then middleweight makes it pop because the black is behind the globe. It doesn't have to be dual plated. You don't have to do nothing with the sides because it's just enough to make you say that's actually important. But brother here,
Okay. Okay.
I think
Yes,
we're
sir.
down to now we're down to your favorite ones. I
So
think
hold
this
up.
is gonna be your favorite.
You're not going to talk about before we get to the main event. You're not going to talk about the ones that are defunct.
But let's go there.
Okay.
Before, well, no, we got a main event. We had the semi-main event. The main
Right.
event ain't
Right.
happened yet. Yeah,
Right.
let's talk about the defunct belts. All right. So when MLW first started, they were started in 2000.
20
I was,
2002. I was about to say 22.
I was going to say, so
2002.
you see, I got tongue twisted too,
Yeah.
right?
That's a
And
long
they
time
had
ago.
ooh, and they were competing with some other brands, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of their championships were around, and then they kind of faded away. Um,
In a very short time, for
yeah,
sure.
so they had the MLW World Junior Heavyweight Championship, and then they had the MLW Caribbean Heavyweight Championship. So from doing research, which one you want to show first, brother? Here,
Well, we can do the junior, but
okay,
I apologize for the photos because we can't really find too many good photos of those belts. I mean, they weren't around for too long, so. But here
right.
we
And
go.
apparently, Sanjay Dutt held the MLW World Junior Heavyweight Championship, and he held it from September to about February, is all that we can see, in 2003 to 2004. But this championship looks oddly similar to some things that we've seen.
Hey,
Um,
doesn't it?
Kind of gives me that Intercontinental vibe
Yes, sir.
automatically for the center plate. They just elongated the center. But this was a render, and this is where we would hope that the Bell fans could correct us, because
Right,
if you look at the old logo, you could tell it's their primary, I mean, their first time they were around. But
right.
this is what we could find: traditional wrestling grapples on the side plate standard design with a intercontinental secondary feel, right?
Now, do you think this belt really needs five side or four side plates?
I would much
So
rather
go three
combine
because
the
it's smaller.
sides. Yeah. And I'm saying, like, because they're so, I would take, let's say if they're 2 inches wide, I will make one 3 inch one
Hmm.
instead of having two 2 inches, just do one and three. I
Right.
think that would suffice. Um, all we can tell is that Sanjay Dutt defeated Christopher Daniels. That's what the history books say. And he became the
That was the
inaugural.
J Cup champion. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was it. He was that inaugural and the only champion of that. Um, and that was until they went defunct. But then we had another championship, the Caribbean Heavyweight Championship,
Oh
who was
yeah.
none other than the legendary Savio Vega became that champion.
Hmm.
Um, don't know much about this, but we're going to just say what we do know. This championship was around in 2019 and disappeared to 2023, was the last record of any time we could find anything with this. And it was probably during the time when they was it the
Well, and
International Wrestling Alliance for Puerto Rico was doing
it,
things with NWA, right?
Yeah,
I mean
20
MLW.
in MLW in 2023, it actually was exclusively going straight to the IWA in Puerto Rico. So it dropped the MLW concept, I guess the partnership or whatever they had was done with, and now it's just strictly IWA in Puerto Rico.
Okay,
So
so I
it's
misunderstood.
still
I
it's
thought it
still
was their
going now. Yeah,
partnership at first.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
I
no,
know
you
you
good,
ain't
you
got.
good.
You
So
couldn't
yeah,
find a picture of that one, right?
nah, nah,
Yeah, because it's
nah.
like where is it? We know it exists because
I
it was
had one with
started.
Sabio Vega. I just didn't put it in there. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you would think that something like that they would want to promote it, but it
Hmm.
was started MLW, and now it's only exclusive with the IWA,
Right, right,
which is a
right.
Puerto Rican-based wrestling company.
Hmm.
Ooh, that's that's hard to
Okay, so now we got what? One more to go with?
two more.
Is it two?
We got two more. We're going to talk about them tag team where you got to pay two people to do the
Oh
job
yeah,
of
we do. Yeah, you're
you
right. I
got to
forgot
pay
about the
four
tag
people to do
titles.
the job of two.
Yeah.
All right. So those tag team championships. Now this will address Brother Ben's comment. Now, no, let me. How did we get here? Right. So the tag team titles were first established in 2003, and they
Hmm.
were called the MLW Global Tag Team Crown Champions, which is a whole nother mouthful. We got to talk to MLW about these long names because first off, can you imagine a ring announcer trying to say these? This contest is for the MLW Global Tag Team Crown Championships. Imagine if they said of the world, which is this belt. Brother here,
Another render. Yeah, but
break it on down.
very similar to the junior heavyweight. Actually, a complete copy. Um, I feel like I don't know if it was rushed, but I feel like these two belts were just kind of like rushed and put together just to have something at that point in time. But I could be wrong. But once again, it mimics the shape of the IC championship. You also have the flags of the countries on the side plates, signifying once again that it's a global championship. Um, Nothing too special about it. It's very simple, straight to the point. You have the crown to give it that regal effect. That's about it.
Hmm.
Wasn't
And
around
of
for too
course, the
long.
flags.
Of course, it left. It appeared in 2003. Left
Yes.
2004.
It was like, never mind.
Yeah,
And that was when they deactivated all their titles because the company stopped hosting their events. But
yeah.
in 2018, we saw the return, and that's where it became the MLW World Tag Team Championships. Gone is the crown name on it,
And I feel
and the
like
first champion.
you want to grab yours because you've been telling me to grab your belt and grab the belts all day. Go and
I'll
grab it
grab mine.
because
I'll
you
have it
like to
right here
show
while
and
I'm
tell.
talking about it. I'm
Right.
gonna grab it right here while we're talking about it.
Go ahead.
So
Do your thing.
the MLW, no, the MLW Tag Team Championship
Hmm.
was when it reactivated in 2018 was won by none other than the Lucha Bros, who are Ray Phoenix and Pentagon Jr., right? They
Yeah.
won that, and then when you think of this title, and this is where I started paying attention to tag team wrestling on indie scene because I was a fan of the Lucha Bros, and this is right before their AEW run. So a lot of this stuff happened pre AEW. Then we had Teddy Hart, Davey Boy Smith, who was known as the Hart Foundation, right? Then you had the Dynasty,
The Heart
who was
Dynasty.
Maxwell.
Yeah.
No, that was the Hart Foundation, and the
Oh, yeah.
Dynasty
You're right. My
was
bad.
MJF
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
and Richard Holiday, and of course the Von Erichs, the new version of them, Los Parker, with El Hingo, and La Parker,
Hmm.
um, and then you had somebody that really felt like I don't want to cheapen what they have done, but I'm gonna use my words wisely. When the Samoan SWAT team won this, it was like a validation because we have been seeing what Juicy and Lance and Hawaii have been doing on the indie scene. So anytime Lance was to get a championship, I'm like, yes, finally, recognition, validation that they've been putting in the work. So the thing I love about this championship, there was some long reigns with it. When I say long, 240 days for the Lucha Bros, which is a long stretch of time for these indies. So that means out of 12 months of the year, they might have been doing shows. They were champions for about 10 months.
Yeah.
Um, Devon Eriks, a year plus, 438 days. Los Parker, almost 300 days, almost a year. You know what I'm saying? 10 months out of the year. Um, and then the Samoa SWAT team, yes, they had it for a short amount of time. We can speculate that's because, somebody got a WWE contract, but I wasn't there, didn't talk to them, don't know. And of course, Vacant had a huge title reign with it. And I want to talk about the current tag team champions. How I said about validation.
Hmm.
Let's talk about the skyscrapers. I don't think anybody expected. They are called the skyscrapers, right?
Yes.
Yes. I don't think anybody expected. I'm gonna just say Dijak. What is his name? Donovan? No. Yeah,
It's just
Donovan Dijak
yeah,
is Dijak.
yeah.
And Bishop Dyer, who's known as Baron Corbin, also known as Baron Corbin, to win those championships. And it was kind of a thing like, oh, I didn't know I needed this tag team, but it works. Brother here,
Hmm.
before we break down the design, anything you want to say about that tag team? Because I know there's some of your favorites in there.
Why you sip the sip the water like that, bro? Oh, first of all, well, when I saw the tag team when they won the championships, I was like, I didn't know I needed this. Two ex WWE guys who should have been booked better for sure. But I'm like, I like this. I like this for both of them. Now they can go elsewhere and restart their career, right?
That's a good way to
It
say
gives
it. Yeah.
it gives them a chance to shine in a different light. Get away from that WWE limelight or whatnot that they had at that point in time. And they worked very well together. The skyscraper, of course, because both of them are tall, but they mesh well. Their styles work well together, and they look like a dominant team. They come across as a very dominant team. They're presented if they're presented the right way, they can go far with this tag team division and make those belts very relevant. Now I know
Mm.
you're holding that belt and you're hugging that belt, so I know you want to break down that belt because you've been talking
Oh,
about it all week.
I'll put it on the screen, sir. Let's talk about this championship. And I'll show off mine. So the reason this belt, every time I saw this, I always felt like this is what the pennies should have looked like, as in the WWE SmackDown and Raw Tag Team Championship, because I feel like this is what the tag teams done right should have looked like. They tried to make those belts look like Trojan Warriors, but it was always something missing. This does the right amount of effect. The reef pattern around it automatically makes you think about a Greek god or like a warrior, because we know sometimes reefs. Oh shoot! Uh, Sometimes reefs have that appeal, kind of like how on the women's tag team it felt like it was done right,
Hmm.
but it made you feel like this is important because it has the globe, of course, the logo in the front, World Tag Team Champion. So no matter if you pin me and you walk away, we know you're the champion. Vice versa, right? I'm coming to the ring, I'm the champion.
Right,
The
right, right.
side plates with the braided pattern around it. Some people will say the braided pattern represents the ropes. Some people will say it represents the struggle, whatever you want to call it. But not only that, it has a Olympian slash wrestler, depending on how you look at it. Because one of them it looks like he has on armor, the other one just look like he's bare chested, facing inward like they're ready for battle, like a gladiator type of thing. Every time I see this, because of how the side plates are, it just draws my attention back to the center because of the way that they're looking. I always thought looking at this versus the SmackDown slash Raw tag team belts, this was the one that was done right because the dual plating of the gold and silver, perfect. The diamond pattern around the middle of it, perfect. Whereas though the Raw and SmackDown was just like, here's two Trojan heads back to back and tag team champions, figure it out.
Hmm.
So that was my take on that.
And that belt
That's
has
why,
what 5 plates, right?
yes.
And
So
the world champion, is that just straight gold or is it dual plated? I just wanted to double check because I wasn't really sure about
straight gold.
from the photo.
So like,
Straight gold.
yeah. So but it's outlined in black, so it pops.
Okay.
It pops out at you. So that's the one thing I do like about it, even though the side plate that has this extra piece on the side for the outermost, it kind of ties it all together. So
Okay.
that's the one thing I did like about this championship, even though the national is my favorite. In a world where we were stuck with those pennies, I'm sorry, those nickels for so long, I felt like oh, well, how can we make this better? And that's what it kind of did. It kind of made this one like, oh, we're gonna take something and make it a little bit better. But that's what I felt like this was the better version of that.
Okay, okay.
Brother here,
It is
anything
a
else
nice belt.
about that shit? It is. It is just right. Nothing's wrong with oval size when done right. Um, yes, I will agree. It's definitely because when you see it, it looks like imagine Dijak just walks into the ring by himself. Until you see tag team, you're like, oh, that guy's a champion. He's a big deal. Not because of his size, because how the belt looks. And that's the one thing I can say about MLW. Their belts always look. Um,
I
who they
think
hate.
everybody hated the pennies.
The pennies and the nickels. Or
Right.
well, I always said nickels. Is it a dime? No more. Nickel and dime are the same color. But I'm looking at them dang on Trojans just back to
Yeah,
back.
it's a terrible design. Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
Mm-mm, mm-mm,
and it stuck around for too long.
mm-mm. All
So are
right,
you ready
guys.
for the
Well,
main event? It's time for the
yeah.
main event.
Oh my gosh. Don't do that. All right, let's go. Let's get it.
All right. So we beat it to death. We know that they started in 2002, right?
Yes, we did.
And then it left and came back, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in 2002, it was called just the MLW Championship.
Right.
Then it was the MLW Heavyweight Championship. The same year they changed the name because they wanted to make sure it had the world at heavyweight, which
Absolutely.
makes sense, right? But the first version of this
Branding
belt,
purposes. Mm-hmm.
yeah, branding purposes. First version of the belt was held by, um, I don't want to call him the franchise because a lot of people know him as franchise, Shane Douglas.
Mm-hmm.
He won another than Philadelphia, ironically, right? This first version of the belt, brother here,
Yes,
talk
sir.
to me about this.
Okay. Okay. Give me a second, real quick, while I mute myself. All right, we back. Now,
That's how much you loved it. Yeah,
right,
okay.
right. Well, from first glance, there's one thing that I noticed right off the bat. I've seen that globe before. What
Mhm.
about you, brother Brandon? You've seen that too?
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that globe before.
It's a unique shape, right? And then you
Hmm.
have the globe and whatnot. I've seen it before, so it kind of reminded me, of course, of this belt right here, which is, oh, do I
Hmm.
have it upside down? Okay, all right. ECW Heavyweight Championship, right?
Right, how the globe is made in the
Started
middle.
in
Absolutely.
1998, what, to 2001, when the business was done. ECW was done with. Quick background story. Uh, the owner, the founder of MLW, he had ties to ECW. He had access to the location, the arena, ECW Arena, 2300 Swanson. You know, he also had access to the production team, the management team. So he decided to come up with MLW, and at the time, MLW was supposed to be the spiritual predecessor of ECW. Thus,
Hmm.
to further to double down on that standard, he added Joey Styles, which was the voice of ECW. He
Keep
became
going.
the voice of MLW to further solidify it even more. Shane Douglas, who I believe was what, the first ECW heavyweight champion? Am I,
Remember,
am I correct?
He
Am
threw
I
down the
correct?
NWA belt to say, "I'm gonna be the ECW champion."
Absolutely. So why not solidify your brand and double down, like I said, on being the spiritual predecessor of ECW by booking one of the top guys in ECW at one point in time, right? He's very, very well known in that area in Philly to be your first champion. Did it work
Hmm.
out? It did for a little bit. Then he got injured. Then we had some other champions, and then the company was no more, right? But it worked at that point in time. The hype was real, as we like to say, and it
Hmm.
got over. Now the problem was after the fact was the booking, I guess, right?
And they kind of like stopped doing the live events, and it was like because they were
Yeah,
trying to produce for television, but they kind of stopped, and it was kind of like, all right, we got to take a break.
yeah.
Because in a short time, now when you look at that championship, I'm surprised you didn't point out the biggest obvious thing that a lot of people might have forgotten:
And what's that?
the side plates.
I was
And
about
it's
to say
funny you
you
would
ain't let
say
me
that.
finish, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, no, go
You
ahead.
got it.
Go
No, you
ahead.
got it.
Nope, nope. I'm gonna let you go. Let him
No, I was
cook,
gonna
Bruce.
say because of I mean, it is the world championship, right? So you have the side
Hmm.
plates. Of course, you have the country, the flags of the different countries, signifying that it is what? It's a worldwide title, and it should be treated as so, right? Thus, the banners that has a real big world heavyweight champion. It is what it is. It's been defended where in Japan. It's also been defended here in the states. So I mean, it looks like it has the reef around it, around the side plates. Just
Hmm.
plain and simple. Mirror backing for the most part. Smooth backing, let's put it that way. And then of course you have the country flag. So it's simple to the point. Made by I believe Jamar, who once again made and designed the ECW Heavyweight Championship at that point in time, and he had ties with what I believe what's his name? I forgot his name. The founder's name. Court
Oh,
Bauer.
MLW.
Court
Right.
Bauer. That's his name. He had ties with Court Bauer from back in the ECW days, so he asked him to make this, and that's what they came up with. And I'm done. You got anything else to say about this particular
Oh
title?
yeah. So it's funny that you were talking about those side plates. I thought you was gonna point it out. There was a wrestler in ECW named Taz who had
Mm-hmm.
a championship with those. Well, of course, the countries was moved around. That same design shape on the FTW slash Taz championship that was modeled after the Wing Eagle, and the side plates were changed out. Those were the
Mm-hmm.
same exact side plates. Of course, the countries were moved around,
Yeah.
but every time I see that, all I see is that Taz belt. That Taz was running around the FTW championship as well. Um,
I think people
you can,
forget that that's even a thing. I'm gonna be
yeah,
honest
because
with you.
they remember the one that was brought back for AEW, probably than they remember that other one. But you know, us real belt fans, we never forget. We never forget a bad design. Um,
Going to the comments.
see,
1994.
exactly.
Yep, he threw that up. Yep.
It said he was the ECW, the Eastern Championship Wrestling. Isn't that what it was at first?
Yeah. Eastern. Yeah.
Yeah. So he threw that down, which was crazy because you definitely threw down a belt that had history to start a new lineage, which is
Yeah.
bold. And wrestling was a different time frame at that time where you wanted your name etched in this history. And it didn't last long because 2004 was deactivated, right? So fast forward to 2018, Brother Hugh. This is when it gets good.
Wait a
Ooh.
minute. Hold on. Hold on.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. It say I always thought that the side plates
Should
should
be
be the
continents instead
content.
of countries. What do you think about that?
Thank you. Yes, 100% agree.
I
Just
think you
like the
alluded to
Oval
that
IC,
before on a previous episode.
because the Oval IC, if you're going to say a world champion, when you show different parts of the globe, and it's like even the North American Championship only shows North America, um, or like the Oval IC when it had just those portions of it. Even though I'm looking down, the current IC title, where they changed the part to blue, it has the parts of the world on there, of the globe. Whereas though Triple H has just started making his globe just the lines without it, I guess to keep brand,
Mm-hmm.
um, keep it unified. But
Mm-hmm.
I do love when they have the countries more than so. The only thought I think it worked well with the flags. To be honest, the only one that pulled it off was the European title. The European
Okay.
title is the only belt I feel like pulled off the flags, because when as I look at Uncle Ben's favorite belt, the 10 pounds of gold that looks like a sloth, that United States title, I mean the United States flag is just slapped on the main plate. I always felt like it was just awkward. Like they just say, "Oh, just put it there. We ain't got nothing else, no other space. Put it there." Uh, but I love the globe, the contents more than I do the flags.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Not a lot
What
of
about you?
people talk about that. I mean,
Do you like the flags or you like the continents?
the continents makes sense. To be honest, it doesn't matter to me because it still means the same thing. To be honest,
As
like
either.
yeah, in my eyes, when I look at it, it's like all right, cool. I still understand where they're going with it, what it is, and what it signifies. But that would be a different touch because, like you said, a lot of people or a lot of designers don't throw that in there. They always just use those same uh, flag country flags of these countries. You know, the top wrestling countries, Japan and this and that and whatnot. So
Australia, Canada,
yeah, UK.
Mexico.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
You can, you know, unlike
yeah.
Craig Tuke, who did the I'm looking over at it. I was like, well, it's the international title. The
That
flags
that was a
look on
good
that
one.
too.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll take it back because the All Atlantic I feel like they were just stuck there, or the international for where they combined it down to the unified. But I feel like they just stuck the flags on the front, which I need that belt. I need the unified check. All right, back to MLW. Um,
Mhm.
shut up here.
You already
Um,
got it.
I don't.
Yeah, you lying. But
Um,
okay, all right. Back to what we was
I
talking
don't.
about.
We're up to. We're almost home.
Hmm.
We're looking at April of 2018. Um, Ironically, Shane Strickland defeated a pre WWE Matt Riddle. Is this pre WWE? Yes.
Yes.
To become the reactivated MLW World Heavyweight Championship, which we saw one of the, what did you call it? The MLW Big Gold?
Hmm.
Is that what you called it? Yes.
Yeah,
Let's
basically.
let's let's break that belt down, brother here, because that belt, man, oh man, ooh, this is a beauty to behold.
I actually have that belt. Five plates.
Mm.
The side plates are pretty much the same, just a globe. What do you call that particular shape? The main plate.
So it's
Because you
crazy
see, they
because
they stay with the same pattern somewhat. With from version one to this is what version three.
yeah, because that floor pattern, it seems like they extended it beyond. It's not really a shape. They just took away and said, let's
Oh,
extend
version
it.
two. My bad. Yeah,
Yeah, this is version two.
version two.
But
My
if you
bad. I'm
look,
sorry.
it's just like a floral pattern that's been extended to all portions of it. And when I say a floral pattern, the difference in the floor, and that's going to be a show coming up soon when we talk about Belfort Caroline. The floral pattern is different than a crumb rind texture because the crumb rind texture is usually raised and it's kind of like you can feel it. This is more of a visual aspect of it. So that floral pattern on the main plate pops because it's kind of like a design pattern woven into the gold and not molded from the gold. I hope that makes sense. Oh, did I lose you? I think I just lost a brother here. Yep. So when you look at the main plate, a unique,
Yeah, you
is
did
he
because I
there?
had to grab this big
Okay.
body.
Okay. But did you
Big
hear what I
body.
said about that?
No, I
It's
didn't.
more of a, okay. So
See,
just to recap,
sometimes when you talk, I kind of like zone out.
I know
I'm
you
just
your
messing with you. I'm
headphones
just
on.
messing with
Yeah,
you.
so
Go
the
ahead.
people heard what I said about that, but that's what the main plate is. So it's kind of like a more of a design and not a raised pattern look. Because when I say crumb rind is what the big gold was based upon.
Right.
This is more embedded into the design and not embedded into the molding of the design. So it's not stacked. It's literally um, a big body belt because it's definitely a big boy.
Yeah.
Um, Difference in this one and all the other ones, MLW is at the very top. Kind of like subjective to say like they're the main focus, then the world, because they want you to see at the very top of everything is the MLW, then the world. Here we have the continents. But the unique thing about this belt, every side plate is if you would have a globe and you would spin it. If you start on one end and just start spinning like you were when you were a kid, when you had the globe, you
Right.
could tell it comes all the way around full circle.
Right.
And the main portion, of course, is the United States. I'm sorry, North America, South America, and Africa. And then if you start to spin, you see the other parts of the country on the side plate. So I thought that was very unique that that belt does that because not a lot of belts that use the globe have them in that way if you were spinning the globe. If
Hmm.
that makes sense.
Now, as I'm looking at it, around the globe, the border of the globe on the main plate, you feel like that needs stones?
Yes,
Oh, that's fine.
absolutely. I always felt like they needed stones around there because remember in the
Really?
ROH belt, I always said when you have indentation like that, that look
Hmm.
like it should have been stones there. I think that you should have had stones. I think that would have added an extra. I understand why they didn't because it's such a huge belt. They probably would have replaced the stones every week or after
Right.
every match
Right. Right.
because some wrestlers are hard on belts. I see
Right.
why they
Right.
didn't add it, but it definitely is one of those championships that the black works. It didn't need anything else. The side plates are perfectly designed. So the point that if you had a side plate and you decided, hey, this is what I want to do for it, you don't have to do anything else to it. Because those side plates on this championship scream, it matches with the center plate. Uh-oh. You all right? I know
Yeah,
you
I'm
was having
good.
some
I'm
technical
good.
difficulties. Okay.
I'm good.
Brother, brother, when you look at this design, what what first thing comes to your mind when you see this design?
Like you said earlier, when I saw it, it gave me big gold vibes. 100%. With the filigree, the design pattern on the main plate, the has that unique shape. That's the first thing that caught my eye, because you don't tend to see heavyweight championships with that type of shape. It's more oval or some other type of shape. But that particular type of shape, like I said, I don't even know what to call that. But it was different, right? It was unique. So it drew your eye to the actual main plate. You pointed out the version that you pointed out. Yeah, hold on. Let me get back to it. You pointed out that the MLW. Nah, that's the wrong one. Get on there now. That the
Mhm.
MLW is front and center at the top, signifying that look, this is our championship. Of course, you have world real big right up under it because once again, it's a world championship, right? Um, you pointed out pretty much everything else. It has that prestigious look and feel to it. Um, like I said, I prefer. I think it would look better with stones, but to your point, being a ring used belt, you probably wouldn't want to put stones in there
But you have
because
them on the
it
side
definitely
plates too.
it definitely would cost to keep replacing those bad boys, especially when you got
Around the
somebody
belt.
like Jacob Fatu carrying that bad boy.
Right. And imagine on the side plates too, the top and the bottom portions
Yeah.
of each side plate. If you can, you still got the belt on you.
Yeah. Let me grab it real quick.
Hold up one of the side plates so they can see exactly because it's better if you see it in person. On the side plates directly, if you look at it looks like it's almost made on the sides, on the very top. Yeah, so hold it open more to the center. You got hold it. Yeah, see at the very top of it, it looks like those are where the stones should be, like three or four little stones at the top and three at the bottom. I think that would add it, or even just one stone on each side, would probably add to the look of it. But as we know, stones fall out a lot, especially the way that you use it. And I just thought that every time I saw that belt, it felt like that's the most important thing. Like, even though every other belt is cool, but if I saw that at the beginning of the show, oh wow, I know that that man is the highest champion. I know he's the it. He's the end all be all because, like we alluded to earlier, I'm sorry, this is where Jacob Fatu became such a big name. 819 days as champion. You can say it's during COVID. Yes, we get it. But even if you take those 300 days out when they weren't like torn, let's say we do 400, right? He still had it for 400 days and
Right.
was defending it. It wasn't like he was a slouch of a champion. And it wasn't until the next person up, Alexander Hammerstein, took it from him. And that's where I think Alex Kane became so prominent because you had Jacob that everybody loved, Alex, who was the heel, and then I'm sorry, Alexander Hammerstein was the heel, and then here comes Alex
Hammerstone.
Kane. Hammerstein. I keep calling him Hammerstein.
Yeah, you are.
Ooh,
What's going
I
on with
keep
you?
saying that. I don't
You ain't
know
eat your
because probably
delicious chicken
eh,
today. That's what that is.
no in a Hammerstein ballroom probably.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but something crazy happened to this championship. Do you remember?
What you mean by crazy? Besides them just changing it?
Yes. I don't know
Which
why they would do it. I don't know why. Why
which one
would
do you
you?
prefer? One
Why would you?
or two?
Why? Okay,
You need to say it
let's
again.
talk about this. No, no, no. One,
I'm gonna do
like
it
it's all
anyway.
right,
One
Sam.
or two?
So you know the problem I when I saw this belt.
Yeah.
Before I saw it on a wrestler, I thought this was the new version of the women's championship.
Why is that?
Uh-uh. Because it gave me the women's division vibe. We knew what the women, I'm sorry, the MLW World Women's Featherweight Championship looked like. I thought this was an upgrade for them. And the first thing I said was, oh, where's the wings? I was like, wait a minute, that's the men's championship. Now, what they did was they took elements from the middleweight championship. You see those, I got to do my research, find out what those crests are, because now they're on this championship.
Mm-hmm.
And the national championship and the
The tag with the
tag
reef.
team,
Yeah.
they put the wreaths on there, but then they put the side plates. It's like they combined all their other championship and said, let's form a world title. And that's what they did with this belt. The MLW, the red is gone from the middle plate. Everything about it, I said, why did you do this? you literally combined everything else and said here. So seeing that shield and those coat of arms, I'm like, it's got to be something that either reference to the creator or something about MLW directly that we're missing because can't find anything about it. If anybody in the comments know what those are, please let us know. Um, but it just didn't feel right. The MLW on it didn't feel right. The side plates being silver didn't feel right because where's the black in it? Why did you do it gold and silver? It was like, you had a
I
beautiful belt
don't.
before. It was definitely a downgrade.
I think you just stuck on the old style.
No, no,
It's
no.
it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I
Well,
do
let's get
agree
your take.
that there needs to be something added to this title. For instance, the MLW, you still should have kept that red with the red
Hmm.
outline to it because that's your brand, right? Keep it
Hmm.
all uniform. Boom, smack you right in the face. Because now what happens is it blends into the background a little bit with
Hmm.
the gold and the silver, and then of course you have the black globe behind it, but it doesn't pop as much as if you had that red on there too. For the side plates, I see what they were trying to do as far as with the dual plating, but I feel like there needs to be some black in there. Maybe some more black on the actual main plate too, somewhere. Uh, just to kind of make it seem like it's a part of the family. You said it took aspects from the other belts already, but a lot of the other belts have that extra black in it, and they work very well. Or if you don't want to have the black in it, you would have to just change the globe color. You maybe put that as maybe go silver with it, right? And then you got to in that case you would have to make the MLW pop a little bit more. I don't think
So,
it was
like,
that bad. I mean, I like the first version because, like I said, it draws me back to more of a traditional belt design when you talk about the big gold and stuff like that. But this is not that bad. I see what the vision was, and this was introduced in 2024, right?
yes. And in
Right.
some pictures, remember, we were all scared because the middle looked like it was blue. Remember when they first was
Yeah.
revealing the pictures, the MLW looked like it was blue because how the light was sitting. I was like, "Oh, that's not going to translate well."
My
You know what I
only
mean? It was
be-
like, "Ugh."
my only beef is looking at it. At first glance, it looks like it's a small belt, and that's weird coming from me because I'm a small guy, But it looks like it'll be more of like you said, maybe a women's championship or mid card championship as opposed to that big body of the world championship. Like that screams like, look, this is the championship. This is more like, all right. When I look at it, oh, that's it's nice. It looks good, but it's like I won't know like this person, whoever has it, is the top champion until I actually go and look at it and be like, oh, they are the world heavyweight champion. Oh, this is boom, 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 as opposed to the other, it just stands out more. Now, don't get me wrong, it probably looks good on TV, presentation wise. When you have the lights in, you don't like this belt at all. Hey, you ain't had to make that face, bro. That's disrespectful.
It didn't look good at all. Every time, you know what I feel like every time I saw this championship. Remember that, and I'm trying to find a picture to send you because you might. Do you
He,
remember that?
Pez, what do you think about it, man? What do you think about the design? I'm trying to do it justice a little bit. I mean, I prefer one, but Brandon just looking at it like as if it's just some smooth doo doo.
So I'm not. All right, so I can't find a picture because I want to quote myself correctly because I remember seeing. Feel like it was either John. Somebody had the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship version 5,
Hmm.
and somebody had the United States Championship. And all I remember seeing is that the United States Championship looked like a bigger deal than the actual world title. That's the vibe that this gave me when I saw this. Like, how could I put that up against the national, the middleweight, and even the tag and know that that's the champion? Because whenever you upgrade a belt or change the design, it should feel like the next evolution of that championship.
But
It
I think
shouldn't
it was
feel like a
more.
step back.
I think it was more for branding purposes. Because once again, if you look at the other titles, they're very similar. Then the majority of them have the MLW logo point blank right in the middle.
In a center.
Right. And they try to do what WWE did with it seems like they try to do what WWE did with the World Heavyweight Championship, replacing the big gold. Just give it a
Hmm.
modern feel. Um, like I said, I don't have any issue with it, to be honest. And I believe
Okay.
this belt was actually made by Belts by Dan, I believe.
Yes.
Right.
And I'm
And
not, and I usually like his work, but it was like, to me, I felt like it was, I don't want to say too small. It kind of felt like how, how ROH went back to the silver belts. It was
hmm
like you went backwards. Like you remade the silver belts, you upgraded them, and they still look like the old school.
Right. Right.
Like I can do without them. So,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I wonder in the comments which one do they prefer, version 1, 2, or 3.
Hey, we have an answer. It's right there in the comments.
Let's see.
And they actually
Um,
went back to version 2 now, right?
yes.
Matt Riddle brought it
Uh,
back recently.
He's
And I
like,
know
no,
you
no,
were
no.
happy about that.
I was like, thank you. Because I'm not ragging on a belt designer. See, somebody else prefers version 1 with you. There you go. Um, version 1, I just didn't like the side plates of 1. I do think for the time that 1 was perfect to make them stand out. But I think 2 was really what set the stage. IWGP 5 looks like the shape it was modeled after a deep. I always said it looked like the Divas belt. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, the butterfly is back. Okay. Because
Y'all
that's
gonna
what
stop
it was.
disrespecting that belt. That belt is not that bad.
You like it because it's small. Lie and say
Yeah.
something else.
Not
Exactly.
no, because
You
I
only like
actually
it because
said
it's.
no, because I actually said the plate looks like it needs to be bigger. The
Hmm.
shape of
If it
it,
was.
the actual design of it is not that bad. It looks pretty good to me. It's just the plate, like Dwayne said also, it looks small to be a heavyweight championship. Same thing what I was saying about this belt right here.
It's too small.
It just from first glance, it's like, all right, it doesn't hit you like boom, that's the championship. It looks good,
And
don't get me wrong, but it doesn't hit that way.
right, like it didn't feel like a major deal seeing it. It felt like, oh, that's the champ. Like you had to remind yourself, oh, that's the champion. You
For
get what I'm
me
saying? Like,
anyway.
oh,
Yeah,
okay,
for me
yeah,
anyway. Yeah.
but that's important. I think when it comes to championship belts, and when you think about all of these indie promotions, if the top prize doesn't scream, "I'm the number one champion," how can you expect to compete with other things? Like if you want to look at some good belts, look at the fourth rope championship, House of Glory championship, and what is the one that Indy Hartwell won? She's the women's champion of. Oh, I'm drawing a blank. And remember when we sort about, we was like, that looks like a big deal. Even
Was that
Maple
House of
Leaf
Glory?
was it House of Glory, the women's championship
I think it was House of Glory when.
when she won the women's. It
Yeah, I
felt
think it
like
was
that
House of
was.
Glory.
It was like, oh, that's a big deal. And look at the ML Maple Leaf promotion, MLP. No, what is it? Maple Leaf Wrestling or no,
MLP. Yep.
MLP. Their championship. At first glance, you're like, whoa,
PW. Yeah.
that's a championship. Like it automatically just out right in the face, like, whoa, that's a championship. And
So
that's why.
we
Mhm.
talked about it before. Well, my bad. You wanted to finish?
No, you're good.
My bad. Now we talked about before how, like for instance, the TNA belts, they all look like a family. And you spoke on this earlier. When you look at the MLW belts, do they look like they all belong to the same family?
Mm. I'm gonna be honest with you. No,
hmm
not at all.
Not even cousins.
They look like it kind of looked like it was going through an identity crisis, but trying to keep us stable. Because the world title and the national title, where the MLW is located, right?
hmm
And but then the black for the world title and the but like this, the world title and the middleweight championship look like they belong in the same family. And then
Right.
the tag and the national look like they belong in the same family.
Right. And we
But
can't
all
forget about
together, yeah. Now she just looked like she is just like,
she on her
hey,
own. It's
forget
just
me.
hers.
Don't
Yep.
forget me. I'm still here. Like I'm a contender.
Well, she
But
has to
they
stand out though.
yeah, she has to because you want the and that's the one of the few belts of that size that looks good on any of their champions when the women held it. Because some of them you see me like, why does that look like that? But none of these feel like they should all be related. Kind of like with the like how Raw belts look like they all belong on Raw and SmackDown, and now NXT belts all look like they belong to that brand.
hmm
TNA did a great job with that. AEW gives this gives me the same vibe as AEW. None of AEW belts look like they belong in the same family, except for when they have the men and the women equivalent to the belts, minus their world title. Because if you look at it, the TBS and the TNT belong in the
Hmm.
same family. The television and television belong in the same family. But only ROH belts look like they're in the same family, except for their women, because they all model after the same thing. This does not feel like the same family to me.
Hmm. At first glance, I could possibly agree with you, but to me, like you said, the middleweight and the world heavyweight champion, they look like they're straight up in the same family, 100%. You know, you got the Big Papa, and then you got little man. That's the middleweight, and then you also have like the other two. There could be distant cousins. They all have glimpses of like the same characteristics, I guess. But I think it's tough. It's tough because I want
It
to say they
is.
do look they are kind of similar, but you can tell each one kind of has his own identity. And then of course the women's, it's just in its own place, its own world. But where
What
would
you
you
is
rank
just muse.
where would you rank this belt family
Mm,
as far as today in the wrestling industry? Like for instance, I know you already got TNA as number one,
hmm
but where do you rank that particular belt family?
I would I would play it safe and say mid. And when I say mid, if I had to do like a scale of 1 to 10, it'd probably be between 4 and 6, as in like the belts, because the world title is saving each title is saving me to say yes, they look good individually. But like if I had to choose like which promotion has the best looking one, of course I'm gonna say TNA because their belts all scream, look at me, no matter what it is. Um, and then AEW belts, all of those scream, look at me for different reasons. Um, but they are slightly better than WWE in certain things, but they're not better than WWE in certain things. As far as
What do you mean?
the, the women's world title
Hmm.
would smoke the MLW men's world title. What about? I think it's the white strap. I think it's the detail that because we see the women's world title in a different light than we see, because right now, yeah, Seth is doing a great job, whatever it may be, but the look of the women's for some reason, it just seemed like it just pops so much more on
Why
that
is
white
that?
strap.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
like
Go ahead.
the
You
what
knew it was
does the
coming.
strap matter? Does the strap matter? So if I was to put those two against each other, pound for pound, side for side, that would lose. But then the other championship ain't nothing mess with that middleweight championship in WWE. Ain't nothing coming close to that. None of their current titles. I don't care if you do Intercontinental, US, and even you know how I feel about the North American. It's not coming close. No, I'm sorry, that wouldn't be the other belt. The other belt would be the Speed. The would that be the only other belt in WWE?
I don't know, but I think you bugging.
Yeah, I think the middleweight. It's just something about it. It just looks so regal that it's like, dang. Now the national might have you might have a belt off between the Intercontinental US, the North American, and the National. That might be a close tie because they all serve a different purpose. And I think the side plates saved the WWE because certain side plates make the belt look even better. We gotta admit, certain people's side plates just work better on them. Um,
Where do y'all rank this family of belts? Because brother
tag
Brandon,
team
he's
lose.
he's being weird right now.
No, that tag team would lose to WWE. That's why I said I would give them between a 4 and a 6.
To the Raw tag team. Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, there ain't nothing beating that Raw tag
yeah.
team belt.
That joint is yeah.
Yeah,
She's
ain't nothing
vicious.
beating that.
She's vicious.
Listen,
Yeah. The
that made
SmackDown ain't. They
AEW.
might they might have the SmackDown ones. What is that? That's the World.
Yeah,
Those are the
that's the
World, right?
world, and
And the
it's the
WWE is on
WWE.
Raw. Okay, yeah. They might have the World. I'll give you that.
But I'm telling you that, woo, buddy, just the strap, because the strap matters. Um, so, but it definitely would destroy TNA's tag belt as I look over at it. You know how I feel about that TNA tag belt,
Hmm.
but I think
Hmm.
it would be unfair to compare NXT. I'm sorry, NXT tag. You know how I feel about that. I think it would be unfair to compare the NXT world title to any of the MLW, because we know NXT championships, the men's and women, serves that one purpose. Yeah, you can't compare that to any of those.
I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, look, I know how you feel about the white strap. I think you have to go black straps on these, on all of them.
Even on the imagine
Yeah,
the middleweight on a white strap.
all of them.
Okay.
Keep the black strap on it. It looks better to me. What do
Okay.
you think? Everybody says a lot of people say that the white strap makes these belts look better. What do y'all think in the comments? Do any of these belts need a white strap? Would they look better with a white strap? And I'm disagreeing with you, Brandon. These titles I would say right now, not including WWE, because I feel like they're in a different ballpark, a different league. But I would say number two on the
Really?
list. On the list, as
Hmm.
far as family, yeah. They as a collection, like I said, individually, each one is beautiful. They're remarkable. And that's the only reason that when they come together, it's kind of like Voltron. Everybody is like, they got their own characteristics, their own, their own little aura to them. But then when they come together, you form one big family, which is Voltron, right?
Hmm.
It's greatness. When you look at this screen right now, yes, I see four individual belts, but each one of them is beautiful in his own right. And it seems like it makes sense for the actual divisions that they represent, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And I can't,
Because each of them
yeah,
tell us each of them tell a special story about that division. Like that one is for that. And this represents them.
yeah.
Like this
So,
represents the warriors that the women
hmm so
have.
in that aspect, I would say, yeah, they look good as a family.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
They do look
See,
better as a family than the AEW belts.
I don't even know what AEW is. Yeah, okay, yeah,
Because their
right.
belts are some
It's just,
look at
it
their
just, right. It's
yeah,
just everywhere. They're
a
not
little
bad
bit
looking
of everything.
designs. Not all of them look bad. I'm
But
just
they're
saying
just
there's no cohesiveness. You know what I'm saying? There's no,
right. Like your tags, your trios look like two different families. Yeah. Unified look like a whole nother family. Yeah, men's and women's look like they're in a different family. They look like they all live in the same neighborhood.
yeah,
They row houses I mean the houses that's together in a new development. That somebody said I want a porch out front. I don't want it, I want a parking pad. Everybody had a different say in it. And
Mm-mm.
that's wild. Brother Hugh, what else about these championships? Because I feel like
I have nothing else. But Pez said, you have to look at them side by side in order to like. He's talking about. Oh my bad. Did it go up? No, it didn't go up. He's talking about the white strap versus the black strap.
mm, I wonder has anybody I'm going to go look at the belt group to see if anybody ever got one of these on a white strap. Because we thought Moose was crazy when he brought the TNA title back on a
That was
white
fire.
strap.
It was fire.
Just like the first NXT title, when I saw that on the white strap, the very first one, I said, "Oh, didn't know I needed that."
I
But
think the
remember,
best looking one possibly though would be the middleweight. The middleweight
that's
is
why I
just
said on
different.
the
Yeah, it's
yeah
just.
on a white strap, it might be like, "Ooh, that's pretty cool." Might be something to think about.
Hmm. And all
Hmm.
of those belts are designed and made by Wildcat, same company that
Which
does WWE. You know,
which is crazy.
which is great for rebranding purposes, right?
Hmm. A lot of the banners are the same, the eagle, but
Absolutely, absolutely.
hmm
Yeah,
but
if
what
you want to make an impact, when you rebranding yourself and come back, you got to go for one of the best, right? So it went for Wildcat, and then of course with the champions that they chose, I think they made a good move
it was the
for
right champions at the right
yeah
time.
for like especially with the women's at that point in time.
She was
Yeah,
the hottest because she was coming off her main title, and then she was a tag team. So who
right.
better to put the belt on than Tyra because she was not. You had all the other women entangled with other things. It was like, oh,
Yeah,
we got her too. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, let's move with her,
I feel like
and
sometimes
that's what she had multiple belts.
she's one of those underrated superstars too.
And she had multiple belts at the time too, right?
Yeah,
Um, I'm trying to think, what else does she have? Yeah, I know she had the knockouts title. She had that one. What else did she have? She had a couple different belts at that time, and this might be where the comments come in and remind me what she had because that was during the time. I don't want to call her one of the first belt collectors, but I think it was like the WXPW and one other one. I remember it was pink and gold because it had the pink logo across the top. I can't remember what it was, but she had a couple different belts at the time.
Okay.
So, yep,
Right. Right.
definitely one of those underrated wrestlers that. Um, but we're gonna leave it at that.
We
Brother
definitely
here.
are gonna leave it at that. So
Yep,
I honestly do not have anything else to say because we're long winded at times and we got our point across from what I think. If you think we could have done better, let us know in the comments. We listen,
absolutely,
we pay attention.
definitely, and we
Shout out to
respond.
Pez for responding
Yes,
and talking to us.
can't wait to see his belts
Right.
because I definitely want to see
Definitely
that. And
I definitely want to see the collection.
yes, he
Yeah,
said
for sure,
80.
for sure. Shout
So
out to
just take a
everybody.
video. Sure.
Shout out to everybody else in the comments. We appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. Join us for this. Kept the shenanigans to a minimum, but
Yeah,
sometimes you got to because
yeah.
we were
I
trying to
behaved
break
today.
down some.
He
Yes, I'm
he
proud of
he,
you.
he didn't want to say it, but I behaved today. That's all he was trying to say. But he tried to say it in a nice way. And I keep looking to the side because I have another screen over here and whatnot.
It'll distracted, isn't it?
No, no. It's just I'm seeing the comments, and the comments are just it's a bigger screen, so I can see the comments better. Because I'm blind as hell. Somebody didn't eat all that carrots when they were younger. I'm just saying.
So with that being said, of all the titles, well, I should say all the indie titles, MLW titles seem to have some sports legitimacy to them.
Hmm.
They have different times where different stars were ranked differently. People had story arcs to tell like a rise of a champion, the dethroning of a champion. They had all these type of things where like indie stars and world class performers went to MLW, and we had lengthy title reigns that actually made that person a household name. Because you can't say Jacob Fatu without saying MLW. And they made the titles feel relevant, but the look helped it feel relevant too.
I do have something.
Yes, sir.
As far as cross promotion purposes, do those titles work? And the reason I'm asking is because the owner did work with in sports, the sports industry, of course, wrestling, and then also in MMA. Would these stand up in a different industry?
Hmm. Hmm. Yes. If you think about the national title was um as the framework of I can't remember which MMA belt, and it's going to come to me in a second,
Hmm.
but it has that same feel. Um, but if you take any of those into other industries, it's going to feel like, oh, that's a champion. Um, Especially the tag team and the light heavy, I mean the middleweight. Um, so yes, they do have crossover appeal,
Hmm.
but the thing is, they have crossover appeal based upon I don't want to say the situation, but based upon the Bella, the here it is, the Bellator MMA Championship, the one that had the what you call it on it. I don't know
Hmm.
if you can see it. This championship. Oh
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the national reminds me of 100%. But if you take it into those avenues, it's going to bring eyes. The thing is, when you do crossover build, it's going to bring
Hold up,
eyes.
real quick. My bad. I'm sorry. Pez, drop your contacts in the comment section because we want to check out that video that you're gonna make.
Oh yeah, definitely do. We do see that, and we will definitely um
I
follow
ain't mean
you
to cut
back.
you off. I ain't mean to cut
No,
you off, but
no,
he said
no,
he's
I'm
getting
glad
ready
you
to
caught
leave.
him,
So yeah.
yes, sir.
So
We
please drop
appreciate
your
you sticking
socials
around.
in the comments and we'll check you out for sure. But go ahead.
Yeah, and remember, the whole point of crossover appeal is going to have will people come to you because you went there? Are you going to bring more people to the product? I think that it will put more eyes on that product to at
Hmm.
least go check it out and say, why is this person here? Why do I need to care about them?
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it just came to me. So I was like,
Oh, yeah,
You
that
said
makes
something
sense.
about sports, and I was like, oh,
Yes, why not?
yeah, why not? Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
All right.
But as we always say, make
Well,
sure you comment your thoughts and questions because as you can see, we do respond. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a new episode of Championship Culture. You can follow us on all our social media platforms, but the
hmm,
easiest way is to tune in every Tuesday, 8 p.m. for the next episode of Championship Culture. Tune in on Wednesday for the flagship show,
Wednesday.
the Wrestling
Wednesday.
Wednesday. For the
Tuesday
flag
and
and
Wednesday.
Wednesday
You got to
for the
say it like you're from
flagship show.
Baltimore. No TI
No,
in that bad boy. Baltimore. Okay.
oh God, I hate him. Tuesday for the Office of the Championship Culture, 8 p.m. Wednesday, not like the show, but Wednesday, the day of the week, for the Wrestle Around Now flagship show, 10:30. And then Thursday for Realness Reacts. So just tune into our network, you'll be able to see everything. I guess my channel has been a name I knew making
All right.
videos.
Well,
Oh, okay.
either way. Well, send us a DM and
Yeah.
we definitely want to check out what you have for
Even
sure.
if it's just shots. Look, just take pictures.
Right. Keep the
Whichever way we can
conversation
do it.
going. Yeah.
Yep.
We
Because
appreciate you,
everybody
bro.
has a story. Right?
Right.
And
Right.
what I normally say, until next time, keep your eyes on the goal and remember.
Hold up. You're
Uh-oh.
not ready.
Oh,
Hold up. Now we
you're
good.
not
All right,
ready?
good.
Okay. Everybody
Not
has a
ready.
story, and I can't wait to hear yours.
Hold on. It's gonna be an awkward pause
You didn't
because I'm
say
just gonna take my
are you
time.
gonna say it?
I know. No,
Oh
you
look.
said it. You said it, but
Look,
you want
look.
me to say it again?
No, no,
Everybody
yeah,
has a
it's just,
story.
but you see, there's your uncle.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
Superman with a tan.
All right, so I'm gonna
Say it,
do
dude.
about say what?
Say it. You ain't say it. You usually say it after me.
What? Everybody has. I
Say
said
it.
it. I
I
said
didn't
it.
hear you. Say it like you say it like you say it.
No. Bye.
That's what you get,
One more
jerk.
time.